We're going to be doing our session. It is called Working Smarter with Commonsku. We're going to talk about some of the best places to find the resources you need on the platform.
Hi, Erin.
Hi, Kate.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Sorry for joining a little later.
That's okay. We can go ahead and get started now. So for everybody who's joining us, welcome, welcome. We are going to be running our session. This is the Working Smarter with Commonsku. My name is Erin. I work with the Customer Success Department at Commonsku.
And I'm Kate Mazewich, Commonsku's Marketing Director. And we're going to be spending the next little while in this breakout talking about Commonsku's new Learn portal. So the Learn portal, which Erin will pull up here.
There we go.
So Erin, do you want to just hit share screen again? I think we just need to.
Can you guys see it okay? No, not yet. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Oh, the joys from working from home.
There we go. Perfect.
There we go. Beautiful.
Yes, Erin and I could be sisters, which is also why we wanted to make sure we weren't wearing the same things today, so that you could tell the difference between the two of us.
But just putting all the Commonsku people who look alike in all the sessions together.
Yes, exactly. So if you haven't been to this section yet, this is our recently launched Learn portal, which you can get to by clicking on the Learn tab in the left nav of the Commonsku application. So this is by far one of the best places to look for all of your support resources, the content that we put out, as well as details about our upcoming and past events. We have a lot of resources available for users, but they're scattered kind of in and out of the platform. So we wanted to bring it all together in one place so that it's easy for you and your teams to get a hold of. So again, you just click on the Learn portal in app, and then it'll unlock this content portal for you. With a lot of people turning to cloud-based software and moving to online positions, there seems to be an influx of new hires and people that are like totally new to the promotional products industry. So we wanted to also have this as a resource for new hires, but also for veterans in the industry as well. So we hope that you find helpful topics within here throughout the portal.
Now, when you first open up the Learn tab, you actually have the ability to filter the content here that displays down based on your role within the business. So if we head up into this top right corner here, this by role option, I can click on owner, sales, marketing, operations, or finance, and it's actually going to filter the content we display based on what's going to be relevant to my job. Once you see a topic that you'd like to learn a little bit more about, you can click to view it to see any kind of resources, recordings, or any other content related to your chosen theme. Plus, we're going to drop some related articles at the bottom. These are actually articles that are in our knowledge base. We're going to talk about that one in a couple of minutes. And this is stuff that's maybe going to give you a little bit more detail about some of the Commonsku tools that are related to your chosen topic.
Now, what we've done for these topics is that we've taken the blog posts, the ebooks, the episodes of SKUcast that are published on the blog and organized them into topics as you see and as Erin just showed you. But what we've also done in this Learn portal is create a link to our actual blogs that's easily accessible within the application. So the blog has lots more resources available. So we suggest that you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. If you subscribe to the Commonsku blog, you get a weekly recap of the latest posts and usually something from the archives. So that includes episodes of SKUcast, any ebooks that we release, and things like that.
Now, one of the other sections we want to talk about is your What's New section. So I'll open that one up here for you guys to see. Your What's New section is going to contain details and walkthroughs for all of our newest features. So keep in mind, we are always going to email all of our users whenever we launch a new feature or we make a major update. But in case you miss our email, maybe it ends up in your junk or your spam, or you've got a million emails and so it ends up just getting thrown away. That's okay. We are always going to have all of the announcements here, as well as giving you access to all the resources you're going to need to walk through the new feature. So a quick note about our marketing emails, by the way, we use HubSpot to send emails. Everyone's email permissions are different. So if you're not receiving the emails from us, always check your spam folder. They may have ended up there and you'll need to mark them as safe. If you've unsubscribed and you'd like to resubscribe to those emails, send an email to support@commonsku.com and we'll get you back on the list.
And we do try to hit you over the head a few times with our updates and email communications. We've got the in-app pop-ups that Erin does. as well as like various other places, but we're really trying to streamline that communication for you, and email is truly the best means for that. Our community events section that we have in the bottom footer, what that will do is that will take you to our community events page in application. So you may have noticed the little green button that's kind of floating on top of your Commonsku instance. And what that will do is that also brings you to this area here. So Erin's just showed you it there.
I feel like I'm being a white here a little bit.
And over here. So what we have here, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, or have explored much in here, but we have SKU Talks, and then we have our platform webinars that are hosted in this area. It's organized by upcoming events as well as past events. So the SKU Talks are quick 20-minute product presentations intended to up your product knowledge and your positioning expertise. They happen every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. But if you can't attend it live, each SKUcast is recorded and uploaded into this past events library. It's also included along with a link to a dedicated collection made by the supplier host. So you'll be able to click on that collection and it'll bring you to that specific SKU Talks collection. So the platform webinars that are typically hosted by our very own Professor Erin are now tied into this section as well. So previously what we used to do was take those webinars from Zoom, upload them to YouTube, and then email them out afterwards. We wanted to make it even easier for you to find them afterwards if you missed them or you couldn't attend or you wanted to watch again. So you'll be able to also see those platform webinars in the past events section as well. So one of the great things that you can do with these past events, with this past events library, is engage your team and organize viewing parties for things like our SKU Talks. So treat them as you would any product knowledge session that you'd have with a supplier. Order some lunch and watch together, even if it's virtually. Then you can share and compare some notes after the session.
One of the other great resources you can use that's found in the Learn tab is our Commonsku University. So Commonsku University, these are basically bite-sized tutorial videos that walk you through the entire order management process, from creating a project all the way down to sending your client the invoice and getting those commissions built out. If you were looking for something specific, this is great for people who are veteran users and for people who are coming onto the platform for the first time. It's a great way to come in and review that order management process, get all of those instructions and steps in there. The other thing I would say is that when you are coming in here, you may notice that on some of these videos, there's a couple of features that are now on Commonsku that you're not going to see in these videos here. We are actually working on revamping the entire Commonsku University portal here so that everything's going to be updated with exactly the way that you're seeing Commonsku now, but it's still a really great resource because it's still going to walk you through the basics of that project management.
So another area that we've got here in the more resources section is our past events. So clicking on this section will bring you to a library of our past events, and those are our used to be live events, but now mainly virtual events that we host. So you'll see content from SKUCon, Sessions at Home, Commonsku University, SKUCon at Home, and SKUCon from 2020. We are working on an update to this library to include more content from past events, but right now we've just gone back to 2020, so you'll find all of the events from last year up until that in there too. So clicking on an event will bring you to this mini portal, and what we've done is we've organized it by the schedule in which we hosted the event. So you can click on any session there and you'll see a description of the session, and then you'll see any helpful links like a link to a PDF or the presentation that was referenced in that session. So again, like you can do with the SKU Talks, what we actually encourage for all of our events, this one included, is when there are events that you're attending as a team with breakout sessions, obviously you can't attend all of the breakout sessions together or at the same time. So what we recommend that you do is actually organize a little debrief with your team after the event, and then you can come together and share your notes. It's a great way to kind of connect the team, and then also just like bounce ideas off of each other and talk about what you learned and what was the most important takeaway for you from that day, for example. So a great experiment for that would be trying it out for Commonsku University, because we're going to have all of the videos uploaded into this portal sometime next week. But we'll send you an email, so make sure you're checking your inboxes and spam.
And the last piece that we're going to talk about for the Learn tab is your Commonsku knowledge base. So this is a central place to be able to find all of the help articles that we have written for Commonsku. There is an article in here for every feature, every button, anything that you can think of, we've got an article for it. And we're going to be able to break these down by certain role types and by a couple of different themes. So when you first come on here, you can browse by individual topics, like if you want to see everything that's new, all of our new features that have been listed. If you're part of that sales, production, or finance team, and a great place if you're just coming onto the platform is to check out this Getting Started section. This is going to basically be the best way to set up your profile and your company settings, and it's also going to walk you through some of the more social features of the platform. So if we click into this section, what it's going to do is show us a full list of all the articles in the system that have to do with that role type or that theme. It's going to list everything for us here, but we've also got anchors on the left-hand side that pull us through to different areas of that topic. So if I'm in this sales topic, but I want to see something that is specific to estimates, I can click on it here. It's going to drop me down to that part of the page, and I can expand to see all of the articles that are included in that section. The other thing that I can do, if I have a bit of a more specific idea as to what I'm looking for, I don't have to click into one of those sections. I can use our little search bar at the top, come up with a couple of keywords or phrases to find what I'm looking for. One of the things that I would recommend if you are using this search feature, try to keep your keywords short and specific. So rather than typing out a full question, try and narrow it down to the key pieces that you're looking for. So for example, if I wanted to find something to do with production, it's going to be nice and simple and sweet, and it's going to find all of the articles in the system that have to do with that topic. The other thing to keep in mind, when you are dropping a keyword into this section, the system is actually going to use that keyword, not only pulling it from the titles of the articles, but also from the content. So even if your first couple of articles, those titles don't look like it's exactly what you're looking for, if you open them up, chances are what you're looking for is somewhere in that article. For example, if we open up an article, we can take a look at the structure of it and some of the easiest ways to navigate through these articles. We try and make it as easy as possible to find the information you need, even in a larger article. We've got this on this page section up top. This kind of acts as a table of contents, but it's actually linked to all the different places in this article where that information needs to be. So for example, if I come into the production report, but I'm looking for something really specific and I want to see more information about those purchase order stages, I can give it a click and it's going to drop me right down to the part of the article that I need to be, rather than having to scroll through information I've already got or don't really need in the moment. The other piece with particularly long articles, if you make it all the way down to the bottom of the article and now you kind of have to scroll all the way back up to find what you're looking for, what we've done is at the edge of every section, there's this back to top option that you can click on that drops you back up to the first table of contents, and you can start on the next thing that you're looking for. We're also going to link a ton of our other articles in here. So for example, if you are looking through a section and there's something mentioned that you're not really quite sure what that is, if it is underlined, it generally means that it's hyperlinked to another article that's going to give more information about that topic. So if I'm reading through how to create an open purchase orders report, and I see that they're talking about filters and I want a little bit more information, I can give it a click and it's going to open up the relevant article in another tab. The nice thing about opening it up in another tab is it makes it a lot easier for you to backtrack back to the original article once you've got the information you need from the new one. Some of the other things that we've added into these articles, not just written step-by-step instructions that are going to walk you through all the different processes. We've got some different pieces of best practice suggestions for certain tools in here. We give overviews of all of our new features, and we also wanted to give you some visual ideas as to kind of what those instructions are going to look like. So in certain cases, we just got screenshots to kind of show you exactly where a certain section is that we're referring to. And we're also going to have GIFs in here. These are short videos that are actually going to show you what those steps look like in real time. And they're just going to be on a loop. So you can always come back in and refer back to them. One of the suggestions I'm going to give you when it comes to looking at your GIFs and your screenshots, depending on the size of your screen or the size of your monitor, it's going to be maybe a little bit tricky to see or read everything that is on these GIFs. What I would recommend, give it a right click, open it up in a new tab, because what that does is it blows that GIF or that screenshot up to the correct size so you get a full sense of what it looks like. You can actually see exactly what the cursor is doing so that you know exactly what you're supposed to do next. Now, I have some kind of not so Commonsku tips for managing these articles as well and finding the things that you need to. Aside from opening those GIFs and those screenshots into a separate screen to make it a little bit clearer, if you're looking through the report and you're going through all of the on this page sections, you're going through the sections and you can't find what you're looking for, use Control F on your keyboard. What that does is it opens this field up here in the top right corner, and I can type in keywords or phrases that I'm looking for in this article, and it's going to find all the pieces that I need. So for example, if I'm in the production report article and I can't find details about those next action dates, if we type next action into our field up here, it's going to show us that there are 13 hits with that phrase on the page, and I can scroll through them to find the exact places where they sit in the article so that I can get all of the information that I need. One of the other cool things about the article, and this has to do with sharing information with your other teammates or other people on your team, if people are reaching out and saying, I know that you've been using Commonsku and I have a question about this feature, I can't quite figure out how it works. If you find an article with the information in it that this person needs, and it's somewhere else in the article, maybe it's one of our sections that we'll click into. So if we open up those next action types again, what it actually does when you click on those anchors, it changes the URL of this page, which means that I copy and paste this URL and send this one over to my teammate. Not only is it going to link them to this article, it's going to link them to the exact spot in the article that they need to find the information. So when they open it up, they don't have to sort through the entire article. They can just pull up that URL and it's going to drop them right in. So that's the knowledge base. There are a couple of other, there's actually one other place you can access the knowledge base from. So outside of the Learn tab, if you're looking at the platform on any other tab in the platform, like your Home tab, for example, you have your little profile icon up in the top right corner. This actually also gives you a link directly to Commonsku University, so you can refer back to any of those tutorials. I always recommend that new users on the platform use the Commonsku University tool. It's so great. It's a great review and refresher on any of the basics for the order management flow. We also have a link here for those help articles, so you can access them from anywhere on the platform. And one of my other favorite features that we have is our support chat. Now this one is separate from the Learn tab, but it's actually integrated into a live chat with the entire support team, as well as help articles for some of those keywords. So if I open up that support chat, first thing that comes up doesn't connect me with a rep right away. What it's going to do is actually connect me to SKUBot. And SKUBot is just going to ask us to drop in a couple of keywords. At the moment, we have our support turned off because we're all doing the event. But what it'll do is ask you to drop in a couple of keywords for what you're looking for. So if I were to come into the chat and type in ESP, SKUBot's going to find a couple of articles that he thinks are going to maybe help answer my question. If it doesn't, you still have the opportunity to talk to one of the support team live. And we're always watching that support chat during the day. So if you guys have questions, you're working on an article or you're working on a piece of information, you can always hop into the support chat and we'll be able to jump in and help you out in real time.
And another just quick best practice that you can get yourself into the habit of doing, I think with this entire Learn portal, along with the additional resources that Erin shared now, is just kind of get yourself into the habit of clicking on that, like if you make some time for it once a week or something like that, because we're always adding new things to it. You know, the help articles are always updated, the what's new section is updated, the event section will be updated. And yes, Karen, we will be we'll have a portal to the Commonsku University Plus videos next week in the past events section. So when you come here, click on the past events, you'll be able to, access the entire library of videos there. But also great if you scroll up a bit, Erin, into the Learn topics themselves. So these are always updated regularly. So as you see, the first topic there is the marketing integration. So we released that topic when we launch our integrations, and in there are all kinds of helpful blog posts that Bobby's written, videos that Catherine's put together, podcast episodes that we have, as well as the linked tools to how to actually do it in Commonsku. So if you get yourself into the practice of doing that, then you kind of like get into the groove and just, you'll just constantly be learning something new about the platform.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. I'm so glad you guys decided to come in. I think that the fact that we have so many people in this session is really encouraging, because I think that the Learn tab is just going to make it so much easier for you, particularly for teams who are working remotely and can't all be in the same room together. It's just a really easy way to be able to access all of those pieces. We are actually going to head back to the main stage. If you guys want to just click on that stage icon on the left-hand side. Thank you again for joining us.
Everyone.
And we'll see you on the main stage.
Bye.
Bye-bye.